Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update, and we're your hosts, Candi Waller and Wole. I'm from Bowie TV, Wole from the urban sports scene. You all come on in. Come on in.
Come on in, like Katie.
Live television recording of the Washington Commanders update. You all, if you have not cut your cable, you can find Bowie TV on Comcast in Prince George's County, Maryland, Comcast channels 190 and 1097. We're across all platforms. You can find Urban Sports Scene across all platforms. I'm tongue-tied. We were trying to, Wole was educating me on some things on technology before this. And so I'm just like, I'm still staring at stuff. So it's all gonna work. It's all gonna work.
That's all that matters. So, it's all gonna work.
The lateness was because of me.
But actually, I'm gonna put that on me because I was like, you got to get it done. So I ain't gonna put that on you. I was like, you got to get it done. That's the truth. Like real talk. I was like, you got time. Don't worry about it. I was co-signing. I was definitely co-signing.
That is so funny. But you all come on in, hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you hit the like. We prefer loves. Hit the loves, and make sure you're sharing this show with your Washington Commanders loving family and friends. As always, we have a ton of clips. We do accept super chats, super thanks. Those will always get priority for the questions and conversations that we answer in the conversations we talk about. Definitely have some clips. That's probably primarily clips that we're going to get into, which will prompt our conversation here this evening. And we may as well get right on to it. That's what I think. I think we should go ahead and get right on into it. So you all, if you've been here before, you know that we like to play a game called What's Your One Word? But this one is going to be a little different because this isn't What's Your One Word for how you felt at the end of the Washington Commanders game against the Philadelphia Eagles last Saturday. This one is what's your one word for when that fight broke out? What was your one word when they started fighting and after it was over? I really want to know the one word.
Oh, I was like, lost. And not like lost and they lost the fight or anything. The team just looks lost. that was my thought process.
Look, I think that, and you all drop your one word for the fight, the brawl. I don't think I had a one word per se, because I was saying a lot in the moment. I think I'm probably one of the rare individuals in any stakeholder group that feels completely different about the fight. Completely different.
No, I get why one would. I mean, the old me would if the team wasn't so bad, I wouldn't have an issue with it.
I have a completely different way of thinking about it. I was literally like, well, they say they fight for one another. That's real.
Okay.
And I would always say when people are like, it's a bunch of nice guys, I'd be like, but.
I got one word too. I got another one word. Okay. Someone tweeted me a one word. It's hilarious. It's like all together though. It says Eagle fans are the worst humans on the planet. You made it like it was one word. They just put it together. He just put it together.
He made a run-on sentence, one word. Okay, exactly. That is creative. I love it. I love that.
Shout out to you, Mark, man, from Hogs Haven. Shout out to you, Mark. That's hilarious.
Shout out to you, Mark. And so I had a completely different take on it. It was so unfortunate. And sometimes I make jokes that I shouldn't make. Like, well, hey, if you lose a football game, just start a fight because at least you'll win that. And so it was, but no, you're not supposed to fight. You're absolutely not supposed to fight. But what I thought to myself was, if they could, have even close to what they had, last season, or was just winning, right? This could certainly be a team that nobody would want to play in Northwest Stadium. Like that's where my mind went. And I literally said, for me, it was more of a wow, right?
Yeah.
Now in the press box, I looked over and I was like, oh, there they go. Because I was waiting for one to happen. And remember on the pregame show, I was completely wrong. Remember I said something today, and you all may be surprised that I'm saying this. And what I said was, man, I miss Marshawn.
Yeah, you said that, yeah.
I did. I said, I miss Marshawn, because if I knew the bullies on that other team, if it was one person that was going to take one for everybody, it get a PI. That's how it would start. It was going to be Marshawn.
Yeah, you said be a PI. That's how it would start. That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's funny. I'm sorry.
It was going to be Marshawn Lattimore for sure. And I was like, no Marshawn. There'll be no fights today. And I mean, it got out of control, as everyone saw. But in my mind, I'm always going to be a glass half full person. But from a perspective of when everyone say, oh, they're a bunch of nice guys, but you might not want, hey, I'm nice too. Well, it's nice too. But you run up, emotions are already high. You run up on one of them, it's not going to go well. It's just not. And so, you know what? It was similar. Again, I have a very different perspective of it. And so people can probably hear that I was like, oh well. And so I thought to myself as well, it was a lot. I had a lot of thoughts about that fight. One, if you really think about, and that's my god brother. Jason Ebo Blackman is my god brother. Everybody.
Oh, what's up, man?
Fan, so just
they did jump on him
because that is my god brother.
No, it is a fact though. They did jump him. That was hilarious though. I thought that was hilarious. They jumped him. But no, the question, I ain't gonna hold you, Jason. The problem I have with that one is it's not that they jumped him, but where was his teammates at?
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
That's where I was at with it though.
You want to know where his teammates were? Like, oh, they serious. Yes. Hold on. They serious. Yeah. So with everybody, and that's one of the things that it was like, I know those people right there. Those are the folks that I'm getting to know. Because they can, I have varying thoughts about the play and this and that. But at the root, you want to talk about, again, I have a different thought process on this. Displays of brotherhood. Sometimes it ain't always roses and rainbows. But if you mess with one of them, you're going to mess with all of them. And I'm serious, like if they could get the game play right, if they could get that right, and people know they act like that for real, Northwest Stadium could literally be a place that teams would be like, hey, listen, just don't, just play football when you go up in there, okay? Because them boys be about something different when you get to play one of them.
I do got a question for you though, even with that being said though. I thought I have no like I feel like
I was like,
I don't know. I get the perspective. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't have had an issue with if they didn't suck this year, to be honest with you. I kind of looked at it like you a poor sport in a way. And what I mean by that is it's not like because they were talking trash. It's more like they went for two. Like they went for two. Like they got mad, they went for two. That's what it was. They got mad, they got two. That's what it is. I know a lot of people want to play it. They got mad that they went for the 2-point conversion, which I thought was kind of weak. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't think that was a thing.
Well, it was a lot of trash talking going on, and I don't want to necessarily name where.
Oh no, I could tell they were.
It started even before
the game.
Oh, Mikey Sanders still. You know
what
I mean?
No. I'm sure it was. I'm sure
it was a lot of this and that. Yeah. But you got to understand this is now historic with them. Yeah. This is now a thing with these two teams get together. You know, because I distinctly remember last year in Northwest Stadium when remember CJ Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
He said something.
Diami. We said Diami. Yeah, I remember.
Diami slapped him. Diami punched him in the face, and then CJ got kicked out.
Yeah.
The ref was right there. So it was like the ref clearly heard whatever Diami swinging on somebody, like off the rip.
Yeah.
Diami, yeah, but because they're nice guys, and sometimes when you're nice, people, you're like, I ain't nice, he didn't do nothing. But it was that egregious where the ref said,
"Oh, it was that nasty." Yeah, it was
you
that
gotta
nasty.
go.
Whatever that person said was whatever Gardner said was
Right.
obviously out of pocket. But I was just, how I looked at it, like from watching it on TV, it was just like, oh, they went for 2. Which I mean, I get being mad. I'm not gonna lie to you, regardless. I mean, I'm sure like they were talking trash. Like it doesn't like going for 2 ain't the end all be all. I know that. Like I know getting it, like it was definitely something prior, but I know that going for 2 and getting the 2 and actually getting it put them over the top. Like I feel like if they didn't get the 2-point conversion, they got to stop. Then they wouldn't been. To me, it wouldn't have been a fight, in my opinion.
I
It
don't
wouldn't have been a
think they
fight.
were even paying, but
They would still talk trash, but I don't think they would have fought.
I don't even think they noticed what was happening because it was, I think because publicly that's what everybody saw and everybody, that's what happened. That's not like what happened, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
It comes to, well, they went for 2, and that's what the issue was. No. It's now a thing. It's a thing. It's going to start at the beginning and it's going to rush all the way through. And then once it got going and Steen hit Mikey and hit everybody, Steen hit Mikey. And then Javon said, not in my house. Y'all remember Javon from DC.
Mm-hmm.
He from uptown. He, at his core, he from here. And what you're not going to do is pick one of the smallest people on the field and mollywop him in front of his teammates and think, well, nobody gonna do anything.
Yeah.
And so, and that's the. But if you really go back and look, I've watched that fight several times, all different types of music and songs and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, the internet is a wild place.
Oh, man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And in that regard, it was amazing. And then watching on the TV version, it was people involved in the ruckus that I'm like, now that must have really been bad down there on the field, because you coming up out of there, you in the thick of it. I ain't gonna say nobody's names, and I'm not a snitch. So if they nobody say nothing, then I'm not gonna say anything. But it was way more than Quan and Javon in there, and it was some ruckus going on, and they just literally, you mess with one, you mess with all. And I know this is probably not going to be, something that people are happy about in terms of the displays of brotherhood, but that was one. And it's only so much, even when you lose it. But again, I'm gonna go back to the point of, hey, look, imagine if they were like, because I think also, like, they would be like that, even if
they wouldn't.
Yes,
I think it all added up. I feel like it all adds up. I feel like what happened last year in the NFC Championship game, what's happening this year, because I feel like they had something to play for. They wouldn't put their season at risk to make the playoffs or whatever. I do feel like because they have nothing to lose, they can act that way. You know what I'm saying? Like if you throw punches and it's 2 games left in the season, there's a reason why, to be real with you, there is another reason why other players didn't get involved for the Eagles. They got more to lose. They throwing punches.
They got more to lose, but there was one person that was willing to risk it all.
No, I'm sure it is, but
because I think they're like, nothing has come down.
Yeah.
So I
not
think
yet. Not yet.
Nobody. The word on the street is nothing gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like, Washington was in the playoff. Like, my point is, Washington's in the playoff race. You need Mikey Sanders still. You need those dudes. I don't know those dudes act that thoroughly if they're in a chase for a playoff.
He got punched in the face 2 times.
Yeah. So he had to respond. He had to respond. No, he gotta respond. No, I know Mikey gotta respond. But like the other players, because like anything, like just like you watching basketball, whatever. When you're in a race, there's more inclined. Like if you got more to lose in a situation, if you got more to lose, you're inclined, especially as a team goal, you're more inclined to sit back and be like, all right, let me get out of this mess. If you don't got nothing to lose, you're not going anywhere. you're more inclined to say, man, I'm about this life. Like I don't look, I get 0 Fs right now. Like I got 0 Fs.
Yeah.
So I'm a go in. Like I'm gonna go in.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
once Mikey got hit them 2 times.
He got but they all mob dude. They got him. They mob dude though. But I think it's an indication of like when they mobbed him, no one showed up. There's two things that could be because of that. One, like they don't fool with dude, which is it's a possibility. I believe that's more of the side I believe that folks don't fool with him. And secondly, you're not gonna have a player that's important to the like. You're not gonna have say AJ Brown put himself out there easy for everybody to see having dudes back. Why? Because y'all gonna need me in the postseason. Y'all gonna need me for the next 2 games. We're trying to move up in seeding. You know what I mean? While Washington, they really don't got nothing to lose, man. Like they can pick a fight whoever.
I was shocked that. Well, no, I wasn't because the Eagles always pick fights.
They do though. No, they do.
What I was surprised was that their players threw the first punches. That's where I got shocked.
It's like he was the offense. He was the backup offensive lineman, right? That's taking somebody's spot. Steen, right?
Yeah.
He a bum. That's why he can do it.
I mean, I don't know. You're an NFL player, so I'm like, okay, I would think you got,
Yeah.
But hey, no suspensions have come down yet, and
yeah, DK got like with DK. Well, DK a fool. He a fool.
He slapped the fan.
He a fool. Now DK's a fool.
Fan, you can't slap.
I know. You can't slap. I mean, dude, you important. Your team needs you for. Your team like your team isn't basically can clinch with a win. You are important to what they trying to do, and you gonna punch. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's just being dumb.
That's just like they made. Well, no, they still in the playoff hunt, ain't they?
They gotta win to. All right, so they're easier. If they lose both games, they may not make it. They might be out.
Right, and so that's why I want that to be clear as well. Yeah. Let's be clear now. Saquon jumped up in there. It was a couple people that jumped up. It was. Yeah. I don't want to say too many names because.
Got you. No, I got you.
Like. I know everybody that was in it because I do, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's gonna sit there and look crazy, like, well, I don't know. You was over there, you was over there. It felt like school almost. You everything that happened. You just go act like
you should be quiet. Well, nobody like a snitch. No one like a snitch.
But it was the TV catches what it wants.
Yeah.
League, makes decisions based on how it feels is important. Mm-hmm. Hard Knocks will be good this week.
You'll see it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to close out the fight. The fight conversation.
They'll all be, in my opinion, they'll all be on Hard Knocks. So I don't be really. I don't watch Hard Knocks, but y'all let me know though. Y'all let me know how it looks.
I will say I've been watching it. I've been watching,
okay.
From because of this.
Is it good?
This is the NFC East. Well, it's interesting.
Okay.
They're a well media trained group, is what I'll say.
Okay.
So things that you hear, they're not. Nobody crazy. They ain't saying nothing. That's why it'll be very interesting to see because at this point is everybody lost it. Unless you really take a good look at everybody who was in that ruckus, like in the mix, you're gonna be like, what? That was you over there swinging like that was you over there.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell. Yeah, I don't got any emotion in it to be real with you because I don't care. To be honest with you about them fighting, because I was like, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, might as well do something.
It was bad. I mean, last year I remember distinctly asking Jaden, like, "Hey, so how are you like just basically managing all of the friction, like all of the stuff going on around you? Like you're the leader, you got to keep your offense together while it is getting rough."
You mean last year? You said last year?
You
said okay.
Yeah. And I was just like, because hey, I mean, you got Terry McLaurin out there ready to square up. Remember, I said that last year. I said the TVs didn't catch it because it went to commercial break on the broadcast. We were there.
You're talking about for the one in Northwest, the game in Northwest. Yeah.
So I was like, So we shall see.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. That's why that's where I'm at. I will see what happens with the. I mean, look.
It was bound. Let me also say it was bound too. Like, I mean,
of course it was.
I mean, unfortunately, it was bound too. I think because I cover the team and I'm there all the time. I track very closely all of the games, all of the situations, all of the underlying behind the scenes storyline. And unfortunately, it was bound to happen. And we'll get to my question to Dan Quinn.
I saw.
Where I'm like, hey man, like you gonna call Coach Sirianni?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like he's ready for that. I think I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Coach Quinn is he ready for that smoke. I was like,
like this, hey, he's part of that. He'd be like, just.
I heard his answers. I was like, bro, I know when somebody's like, I know when somebody in the back, but I know how folks answer questions, and I'm back on mine. I'm like, nah.
Like when he answered, I have that clip for sure.
I know you do. So, I know you do. Go ahead.
I have that clip for sure because I'm like,
no,
are you gonna call him?
No, I heard everything, and I was like, nah. He after the game, I'm sure he was in the locker room like we gonna get.
Nobody wants to fight. Like, you shouldn't fight. Like, I'm not. I do not condone violence. I do not think that was the.
Look, you don't got to, but I will. He wanted to. He wanted somebody to get effed up. I'm sorry. I can't tell. I was watching this presser. I was like, nah, dude. I know what your mouth is saying, but I know what you're really saying, though. I know what you're saying. I'm sorry. I'm good now.
Do my media, do my content, and having to do this for the show.
Exactly. Anytime
like, let me at least, based on my knowledge of the situation, I'm just gonna ask a question. Are y'all gonna call?
No, I like your question because your question was out of the box. It was like not like it was a good question. It was a question where I don't think anybody was going to ask, and that was a good one. Like, because you guys got to play at the end of the season. Are you guys going to like kind of, I like
listen, and people did you told them arrive violently, finish violently. Here we are. They're not going to win the football game, so you can't let Mikey or anybody. And just all I'm going to say is this.
Yeah, Paul.
And I really got to move on because we got so much stuff to go through, as always. But it's kind of fun conversation, so it's all right. But could you imagine? I've been saying this for the longest time. Whatever anybody does, don't mess with Jaden Daniels. Could you imagine? They went like that with Mikey, like how they are with one another.
Yeah. No, you asked the wrong question. You asked the wrong question, Candi. You asking the wrong question. Could you imagine if Dan got his hands on Nick Sirianni? Like, man. Damn, man. I don't think you want to talk to him on the phone.
My knowledge of the situation. I'm like, well, what are we supposed to do the same thing in the media room too? You're just gonna talk. Everybody's supposed to do this? Like, what is happening? It's a fun conversation, you all. I'm joking, but at the same token,
no, I'm serious. That man was waiting on the sideline for some smoke. You see,
he was just
after shaking hands, he was just waiting there. Like, I know what time he was on. He can say whatever he want to say to the media. That's fine. Like, when you asked him that question, I was like, he was like, he can handle his own team. I was like, yeah, I know what time you on, Dan. I know what time you're on. You got the PC. No one likes fighting. Yeah, Dan. I know what you're going. I know what time you're on. You got to say that. I understand. Dan. I thought that was so funny. I thought that was so funny. He said, "Sir, they wanted to start the fight. Why would you call someone prevents something that was intentionally instigated? I ain't gonna lie to you. We know people in life, they instigate fights, but they don't want to fight. We know this. We know this. I won't even lie to you. I can use a bunch of people who instigate fights.
I think that's
what happened. There's a bunch of dudes. There are a bunch of dudes.
Play with people under pressure. You did something. You did something to their brother. You pop. You talk a lot. You pop a lot. But you really.
No. What I want, like, I'm not going to say this fact, but that's not act like. Yeah, I'm not saying true or false that you could. Like, I'm not saying, but let's not act like there ain't people like that. There's a bunch of people like that.
That's what happened.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people like that. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a bunch of people like that who pop off and they don't really want to. They just know they're safe. They know they're safe. Let's put it that way. They know they're safe.
Yeah.
That's put like this. Jordan Poole popped off the Draymond. Jordan Poole's the one who instigated that. Now I don't. It looked bad, but he's the one who instigated that. Just letting
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
I mean, but that's why it ends up being like it's embarrassing or it's bad.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't start it.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Now,
I'm sure.
should you?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't let your teammate get punched in the face.
There you go. My man Lou on Instagram said loud people don't want to fight. Exactly.
And so the loud,
That's
and then
hilarious.
that's why the loud person ended up. It was all you saw was Burgundy and Gold. And
We
then
know.
let me
We
stop.
know this, man. No, I ain't saying it was right or wrong. I'm just trying to clarify that portion of it. I'm not saying right or wrong.
Right,
Senate Core. I'm just saying, like, in life, we know this. That like the loudest people tend a lot of times they try and fight. That's all I'm saying.
It played out.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
But yeah, just if you could get the game part right, they would really be a group of people that they would be like, don't want to play in Northwest Stadium. Look, just don't say nothing to nobody. Just play football, get your reps in, and go ahead on home. Like,
look, the better team won though, man. So that shout out to the Eagles, man. Better team won.
Hey, I got a lot to say. I got a lot about that because, but we're gonna get into some clips. I'm gonna start with clips from last week. You all know how to do, and then we're just gonna try to bring some in there. There's been a lot of conversation about head coach Dan Quinn's job status with the Commanders.
Oh, really? Okay.
And yeah, I mean, this is a conversation around, here, not internally. No.
Yeah, you're talking about like fans and stuff like
that.
Got you. Exactly. Okay, I'm about to say. Yep. All
right. And so George Wallace from WTOP asked Coach Quinn not about that, but just about what the word is from inside and what players are saying. And I know many may say, well, people are supposed to say that. Not necessarily. It just depends on the situation, depends on who's talking. But I thought this was important because so far things have been consistent. A lot of conversation around he lost the locker room, this, that, and the third. What is it? Post-Dan Snyder syndrome? Yeah, as much as I can help PTSD. Okay. So as much as I can help to say this is not that, displays of brotherhood, even if you don't like it, it's kind of what it was. But here's the question. Take a listen.
Obviously not where your season wants to be, but how does it, when you hear players talk about that, no, DQ has not lost this locker room, we're still fighting, and it's all because of the culture that was established. How does that make you feel as a coach when you hear your leaders and your players still talking like that with 3 games left in the season?
It's a big deal. Obviously, when this is most challenged, I think, as I've been as a coach, when you go through a spot like that. And so to hear, a player say that, obviously that means a lot because you're wanting to stay, in the same spot and improve upon things. And so when you're not hitting the marks and got gut punched a few times, you want to make sure that they're staying in that fight and in that battle. And so to hear them say that, that's definitely what I'd hope they would say, but to hear them say that back to you, that's a big deal to me.
Got time for one more? We good?
I just thought that should have been addressed. I thought it was a great question. It is still a consistent message, unprompted, as I share with many. I've had in other conversations in preparation for the show, I've had players just say, Dan Quinn is a hell of a coach. Like, this is, a lot of these players, they've been in other spaces, they've been in other places, and a season like this with the expectations, what they were, or just in general, expectations or no expectations, this hasn't gone well at all. And players are getting hurt all around, right? 3 more players added to the IR list today, and Sam Cosmi and Eddie Goldman, both with concussions, and then Jalen Lane with his ankle injury. And of course, hey, it's only 2 more games. They're out.
They're out for both games.
And so
is Cosmi out? Cosmi's out for both games. He's out, right, for the season.
Yeah. Yep. IR.
Okay.
So it would be a lot to check out. Yeah. It would be the perfect opportunity to check out if you were ever going to check out. Now is the time. And to the point where you are seeing IR players still around, still in the building, still just being present. Speaking of Hard Knocks, I know I've come on in many shows and in, when I'm on many, spaces and talk about the importance of veteran players and veteran leadership, talked about, Zach Ertz all throughout the season. And then after he gets injured, he still spends his week, with his teammates, with Ben Sinnott, watching film, and Hard Knocks caught that. I thought that was important because then that is another display of brotherhood, and it is another display of what they're building, which is if you're going to have if there's going to be a season like this, this is the mindset you got to have. Right? This isn't a mindset, oh, this rookie or this second, you guys are going to take my job. No, you got to be successful. You need to be successful. They want you to be successful. And so as much as I can do and to help to dispel some of these myths of what it's like inside, that's what I'm going to do. We got to constantly be doing one of my most favorite things, and that is using our clues and paying attention to the things that absolutely dispel the myths based on past trauma. Right? So if ever there was a space where this is happening, the last thing you want to hear is about infighting or some issues or whatever. Imagine if we had to tell those stories. Thank goodness we don't. So please hold on to that. It means a lot. And hello. Mama Waller she's in town, so I don't know. She probably like, oh, what you doing? So if she pops on, we'll stop for her. She's like literally in the building. So
I'm about to say, come on now, my boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, but thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate this. I didn't really, y'all know I might have to break my glasses out here soon. Okay?
Yo, you ain't see it? Oh, you didn't see it? Okay, I thought you saw it.
Oh yes.
You saw the compliment though, right?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
And I think I don't know if you want to start Paul's question or anything. Yeah, but and I'll answer this as we're talking about Dan. Did Dan get the vote of confidence from Josh Harris? I mean, with the most injuries in the league, I mean, every time I watch a TV broadcast, it illuminates because the broadcast talks about it, or they have a big graphic up there talking about the most injuries in the NFL. It's the Washington Commanders. So it's like, what you want somebody to do? I mean, we on the Josh Johnson, and they brought Jeff Driscoll back in. And I mean, and then one of the emergency quarterbacks is now on IR because Jalen Lane was the emergency quarterback, and he's on IR. So if something happens to Josh Johnson, I mean, Jeff Driscoll should be able to. It would be Jeremy McNichols.
So wait. Marcus is there. Is Marcus definitely out? I mean, from whatever happens.
Let's say he is. Let's just go with he is. Let's just go with that.
Dang,
Let's go with that. Let's just go with that.
Commander Nation said, could you see us pursuing someone like Al Harris for defensive coordinator role because of his ties with DQ in Dallas?
I could. Yes, is the short answer to that question. I have different thoughts now after looking at some numbers. I've been spending a lot of time looking at stats over the last 3 years from an offense and a defense perspective. So spoiler alert on this one, because it's going to be a busy offseason.
Yeah.
Boo. Second stop. It's going to be a busy offseason.
Yeah.
And so, I'm looking at numbers, 3 consecutive years. Where are some of these teams shaking out in various areas? So we're going to get into that soon because the season will be over soon. Of kind of like, top 5 of where I think, could be potential interest in general, and just what are some of the things using our clues that I would think that, would be looked at in terms of performance. If there were to be some changes made. With that being said, I asked Coach Quinn last week. A lot of injuries, you all, in and out, in-game injuries, having to adjust. IR like every week announcement, it sounds like, for the most part. With people who are like perfectly healthy going into the game too. I do want to mention that. And then something happens in game. I asked Coach Quinn about his conversations with Cliff Kingsbury in preparation for game planning. So check this out. Hey there, Coach. With so much movement on the offensive side of the ball due to injuries, what have your conversations been like with Cliff Kingsbury? How have you all worked through this?
Yeah, we early in the week, that's when we discuss, okay, what would the plan look like? Who would be in? These are the available receivers or tight ends. And so we start from there, Candi, of trying to be like, what would that initial 48 look like? Okay. And then once you have that plan, it's kind of easier to begin of what and who and how to game plan. And so that was, for instance, this week having some guys back and then also having Zach out. And so how does that balance into it? So if you can start at the beginning of the week, then you can adjust to say, this is who will feature, this is how we'll go. In the training camp, it's pretty vanilla, where you're at. And then once the season begins, how we put people in different spots. So we start at the beginning of the week, and then we work from there. And then it's been good to have some other guys work in that hadn't been a part of it. And, guys like Burks, who's, okay, there's something here that we want to continue to develop. And we still dig in on guys like that, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Who's ready to use your clues? See, and now I didn't even, sometimes you end up with information that you didn't even think you would get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when Coach Quinn brought up Traylon, so I was just like, wasn't expecting you to name anybody, but thank you. Glad that you did. And you're right. Think you need to see what's there.
Yeah.
Keep that name and use your clue. This. Hey, he just told you something. It matters. It matters. And then that's why another reason why I knew, okay, you're going to see more of Traylon this week. Like, I mean, obviously, because Noah was out, but I'm just saying, right? But to have it mentioned out loud is important. So go ahead and put in the chat what you've seen from Traylon Burks so far. Is this somebody you would want to bring back? Want to just, hey, Coach Quinn said you want to see what's there. You all know I have been talking about him since he got here in October. I think I posted one day that I watched him his entire first day at practice. And I kind of left it open-ended like that. And everybody was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And I was like, look, I'm just watching. Use your clues. I'm watching for a very good reason because I've seen something and I'm like, whoa, this guy. Okay. All right. Adam might have found him one. So
yeah, I think you found him one. I definitely think that's a good one. That's a good one. Burks was really a good one. I like because it was a low risk, high reward type of individual. You're talking about a former first round pick, and he's showing a lot of ability. That's why I was so pissed off that with Noah Brown when he came back and we didn't see the same type of him getting those type of targets or reps. So I'm glad now. I mean, not glad, but I'm happy he's getting the opportunity to kind of showcase it because it's important. All these dudes are getting evaluated, so it's very important.
Everybody. That's what I'm like. Everybody like, see all the young guys, see this, that, and the third. Okay, let me help. Let me help everybody to understand everything that needs to be watched. Traylon Burks is one. Got a couple others that's going to come up because whether you like it or not, like you just said, everybody's being evaluated.
Yeah.
And I do mean everyone, because if nothing else, you need to know what to work on in the off season. You need to know what your off season program is a very real thing. Here's one thing that I know that happened even last year, which was here's what you need to work on. Here's what needs to happen. I mean, we know that those things didn't materialize in the season, right? But I'm just saying, there's a program. You can't just fall off, because all of this really does matter. Next clip, actually, I'm going to go to, now this is kind of going back to, speaking of receivers, there was a question to Cliff last week about Terry's touchdown against the Giants, and just the use of Debo coming out the backfield. So check these out. I'll tell you why in a moment.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach. That 1st and 20 shot call to Terry McLaurin, just kind of the mindset behind being that aggressive in that space.
Yeah, that was Brian Johnson actually called that one. We were expecting some sort of split safety based on what we've seen on tape, and so he said, hey, I think that's a good time to call it. And so we got a call, and Terry ran a great route, and we'd kind of set that up. We hit that play a couple times against Minnesota, and so it's kind of been set up, and so it was great thought by Brian in that moment.
Who called it?
Brian,
Who called that one?
Brian Johnson, right?
We're gonna have a quiz. Wole, we're gonna have a quiz.
What's the quiz?
we're gonna take a quiz. Everybody start. Hey, make sure you're using these clues. All right. Okay. I want to move on to the next one. I think it's an important point to bring up who's calling such plays. Understanding and being reminded of those individuals' roles. That is what I think is very important. So use your clues there. Here was another interesting question about the use of Debo in the backfield. Check this out.
We haven't seen Debo in the backfield a whole lot, especially in this second half of the season. What's gone into that thinking, and I guess how would you evaluate his season overall?
Yeah, I think, game plan to game plan to change is kind of what we feel like we need to do to maximize his role and use him the best we can. And I think he's done a nice job for us. He made some big plays. The way the season's gone, as you've seen, guys in and out of the lineup, it hasn't been what we would have hoped. And I think his usage, got changed because of that. But super competitive and has given us a nice spark at times.
Which I do agree with. I think you probably would have seen more of that, but the wide receiver room was depleted.
You got I don't know. You got a question. There's a question. Not forget the first point. Phillip Rivers. I love Phillip Rivers, but for Washington, what is your Christmas list for this offseason?
Oh, can you start that one? Can we come back to that one?
Yeah, start that. It's start. We'll start.
Oh, okay. We're gonna come back to that one. I promise.
Got you. Sounds good.
Yep. That's a good one. And hey, Mazdak.
What's going on, Mazdak? Always appreciate Mazdak. Cool dude.
Yeah.
Very cool dude.
Yes. So now let's go to one of our favorites. Donna Hopkins asked the question about the Eagles last week. I think this is an important point.
Yeah.
When she asked Coach Quinn about the Eagles, because they still had to play them. And they still got to play them again. And they won the division again. And so it still gives to me, right? It still gives a bar. It still gives a standard, if you will, for the division and what's needed to win the division or beat them at least, right? Which under this regime, I guess, what do we say? The Washington is what, 1-3 in beating them?
Well,
with this staff, they beat them one time. They've lost to
the Eagles 3 times. They lost to the Eagles.
Lost 3 times, and they beat them once. So and so you still got to know, And oh, by the way, like I said on the pregame show, they are the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah,
they are.
And Paul, I started your comment, so be easy, my guy. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, I missed.
It started. No, it started. It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same type of thing. We're good. It started.
Okay, perfect. Yep. So we're gonna get through these clips, and then we're gonna get the questions too. So take a listen to this clip because I still think it's important on the strengths of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey, Coach, meeting Philadelphia for the first time. Could you talk a little bit about, that meetup?
Yes, and I thought this is a really complete team. I thought both special teams, ours and theirs, this is going to be a physical game on the team side of things. the way they can cover kicks, the way we can. I thought, that field position this game is going to be big. I thought some playmakers at all spots along the defense. Both linebackers are very good blitzers and active. They got an excellent defensive line. I've certainly been impressed by their young corners. Where they're able to challenge and be aggressive right from the start. So those are some things defensively that I've been impressed with. Playing against us last year in the 3 games, Donna, they were exceptional at taking the ball away. I thought that was the biggest deal for us of, not giving ourselves our very best shots. I think that's going to be an important part. Then offensively, I thought, from a line standpoint, the size, the movements, the pulling, Jeff Stoutland is, one of the best there is at the offensive line spots. They've always had good tight ends. And, at the receiver spots, they get a lot of loaded box in the run game. And so the shots down the field post, the big throws to Devontae and to AJ, playmaking from that standpoint, when it's one high or something, hey, you got to go down. This running back's fantastic. Get down by the line of scrimmage. And so I think it's a good balance of what they have from the run game and the shots down the field with Jalen. So those are, I think, kind of the yin and yang of a good offense. Of this is where their strength is, and if you're going to overload in that one area, we're going to make you pay with these guys on the outside. They're just fantastic.
I think it was always, those are the parts of the press conference that I really get into, right? If somebody else is able to ask them, fantastic. If I get to ask the question, if it hasn't been asked already, fantastic, because that's where you get your clue. That is huge. Whenever you all, so this is just a little tidbit, right? On the use your clues, you gather that information from the coaching staff, not to kind of quiz them to see how much they know. So when you see it, you can say, oh yeah. Or if you've been watching the team or keeping up with the team, you all know I'm big on, you got to watch the team that you watch, but you need to watch the division. Watch the division, see what's happening in the division, so you keep up with what's happening in the division and how they're doing, not just the scoreboard. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to end up taking a hard look at these matchups. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because they do change, and because of injuries and all that. Hey, and sometimes I always say some of the best battles on game day are happening on the sidelines and in the booth. That's when I'm talking coaching from that point. But player execution, you got to keep up with what's happening in the division. And then the bonus is just keeping up with what the regular season opponents are doing, because beating them is what gets people into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So I always really enjoy kind of like, fun fact about me, if I don't get a chance to ask the question because it's already been asked or something else going on, that is part of the press conference that I enjoy, when the coach, whether it's a coordinator or the head coach, is able to share about the opposing team. And everything that, Dan Quinn said, I mean, hey, yes, yep, all of the above. I think I mentioned on the pregame show, I was excited about teams. And you saw it, the Commanders came out with all of the smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. You saw young guys, everybody wants to see young guys. Guess what? You got to see them. Mm-hmm. Mikey makes a play. Kane Medrano went to scrapping to get that fumble recovery and hold on to it. I know many have wanted to see more of Kane Medrano. I don't think he would mind me mentioning this out loud, and just the conversations around, a lot of times you have to make impact on special teams, get in the groove, get into all that. I mean, Jordan did, Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, you see all the names, you're going to get in there. But when you get in there, make a play. And that's the kind of stuff that builds. That's the kind of stuff that shows that you're ready for those matchups. That's the kind of stuff, because that was huge. And it absolutely set a tone. Now, again, when I watched the television version, I'm looking at the television version, which you could see how excited the team was. But again, I always talk about those moments of how excited they are. I mean, Mikey was on another level excited with that. But then it was like, all of displays of brotherhood, all of the support and love that got shown to Kane, because Mikey made the play. Kane finished it. He finished it. Now they didn't score a touchdown, which is, when we talk about that.
That's Cliff.
But Because something like that, you're supposed to blow the smoke up at that point. You know what I mean? And run the numbers up like, hey, because now your special teams unit has set the tone. And I think what was so also you're used to the names, you're used to Jeremy Reeves being that person. You're used to Nick Ballore, which I want to mention also has a concussion. He was on the injury report today. That's a thing from a team's perspective. So just keep those things in mind. I see a comment here about Mikey. And it's something that Mikey, it seemed like that swag came back once he went back outside, didn't it?
Kind of, yeah, it did.
That swag came right on back once he went back outside.
He looks a little more confident.
Oh,
it's amazing when you get somebody in their comfort level. But hey, folks on the at all platforms, make sure you like this video. If you're on any of these channels, subscribe, hit that red subscribe button. When you like it, it does well for the algorithm for Commanders content. So Bowie TV, Urban Sports Scene, whatever you're on right now, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, like Candi said earlier, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support the shows. Like she said earlier, each super chat is prioritized over any comment. So it don't matter, it don't matter where you put it at. Like it don't matter if it's late or early. If you guys super chat, you before somebody. So that's already known. All right. Yep. That was it. Just give my little commercial spill. That's it.
Yes, perfect commercial break. Let's get into another player that I asked about, and I'm like, okay, everybody, young guys. Technically, this is a young guy, but did you watch him? How do you think that he did? Drake Jackson. And I had such a good time talking to Drake because this was like nearing 2 years of him not playing in a game. The Washington Commanders scooped him up mid-season, injured. He was on IR. He's worked his way back, and he played on Saturday. So here's my question to Coach Quinn about Drake Jackson. Definitely drop in the chat. If you saw him, I always laugh because I would be like, what is, because I can sometimes I'm serious all the time, but I just can't help but sometimes lead with humor. And I'm like, you talking about Jonathan? He's like, what, Jonathan Allen? What? Oh, Drake. Yeah, because he's number 93. This is like an inside joke. Now I'm telling you all because now you're kind of like on that inside joke, but he's number 93. So I'm like, oh, you mean like Jonathan Allen? It's really Drake Jackson though, y'all. Drop in the chat what you think. If you captured him, if you saw him. If not, check out the All 22 or the TV version of the moments he was in there. Check the snap count so you can see how many times he was in there and kind of pinpoint those plays throughout the game.
Hey, Coach. And so speaking of the pass rush, Drake Jackson has been full practice so far this week. Is there any update on him?
Yes. Yeah, Drake had a good week. Kind of got started last week, the individual piece. We were ramping up, hopefully, to look at this game as one for him to go. And, yeah, he'll be able to play.
That was like a moment. Like, again, it's
for a lot of people. For a lot of people. So again, we're gonna talk about the young guys. We're gonna talk about pieces. We're gonna talk about all the things of really knowing what to look out for. How do you think he played? Drake Jackson? I think it was fine. I mean, it's his first game back. I mean, hey, I'm a person that I'm like, you couldn't get me out there after 2 years and not play. You know what I mean? So getting back into NFL game shape and for a game like that says a lot about his overall athleticism. Because you talking about getting thrown into the fire. That was one. That was kind of thrown into the fire. I saw him get some good pressure a couple times. Of course, he got to, but his speed got to come back up. But I just think, even with that, let me be clear. I'm not trying to say he's slow at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, let's be clear. This dude hasn't played in almost 2 years, and I saw him almost get to Jalen Hurts a couple times. So you give it some time, you get it some movement.
You could be on to something here. But that was something to watch and continue to watch as well. Keep your eyes on him. Now, I'm kind of got to go not backwards. We're talking about players to watch. It is public news, knowledge, all of those things about Von Miller talking about this talking about wanting to come back to this organization, and just his thoughts on from last year, what's happening this year, next year. Also just displays of brotherhood all around, how he, talks, like playfully with his teammates and just all of the things. He brings up special moments that he's had in the locker room. I think I may have shared with you all a display of brotherhood, a special moment that I saw when he was coming back in the locker room, and it was after practice. It was some stuff, on the walk on the path there, and he's like, "Hey, guys," talking to the media. "Hey guys, Trey Amos coming through," basically moving everybody out the way. And I saw Trey coming through. And I said, Von just told all of us, I said, I'm moving this way because I saw you coming. I wanted to tell you that Von has moved all of this stuff out of the way to create a clear path for you so that you can get to your locker. And he was very kind. Von Miller he wasn't like, move. No. He was very kind and all the great things. And Trey's face lit up. He was like, he did? And he didn't realize that Von was standing right there, like waiting for him to come through the door. And Von was like, I got you, brother. But it was like, it's that moment that I see stuff like that. Like Trey, I'm sure was watching Von Miller. I mean, I guess we all were, but you know what I mean? As a youngin, playing football. And for him to do that, and just the knowledge, you see Trey coming through, and you look like, okay, make sure the way is clear for him. They would do the same thing for Dietrich and all that. But in the Giants game, when I went back and looked at it, I was like, Von was hey, I mean, yes, we know the Giants score, whatever, or the record and the team. But I was like, Von turned into a little vintage Von for a moment there. I was like, okay. And he did have some consecutive plays. I asked Coach about Von Miller, and he brought up that those plays that I'm just mentioning now, that was kind of just sticking out in my mind, like, yo, okay, Von, turn it up a little bit. So check out this question that I had to DQ.
And then Von Miller, you just mentioned Von Miller. What have you seen from him in this last couple stretch here?
Yeah, I liked that sequencing behind the sack. I mean, that'd probably be the thing to write about, but it was interesting. It was almost like a 3-play sequence. I call that like wreaking havoc. So he had a pressure, and then the next one he had a sack, and then the next one there was a false start. And so that's what I'm looking for to see, can I affect somebody? Okay, the first one he got a pressure, the second one he got a sack. Now there's some mental pressure that's going on with it as well. So I thought that probably clearly illustrated the impact best Candi in that spot. And so we'll need some more of that for sure. And like I said, Philly's good offensive line. But one thing about Von, his angles, how he's going to work his hands, he's got a real game plan to how to rush. And I know he's up for that challenge for sure.
Ken, you got a question from Santiago with a super chat. Thanks, Santiago. Appreciate the super chat. He says, "Are we developing McGee to be the middle linebacker?"
It's interesting you asked that question. I have a clip that references that slightly, but what I think is important, and I may have mentioned this on a past show, maybe I didn't. If people look at the injury report, Bobby Wagner has been on there. And so when Coach talked about this publicly in a press conference, so I don't have any, I'm gonna say it out loud. When Bobby is not practicing, it's Jordan. Jordan is the backup. He's Mike. He's doing well, and so, and I mean, you can't listen. He is learning from
one of the best who ever did it.
From literally one of the best who ever did it. And is learning future Hall of Fame, all the things. And with that, so here we go. Y'all know my favorite game. To answer this question. Use your clues. When Bobby's out not in practice. Jordan does it. I think Coach Quinn talked a lot about it maybe the week of the Giants game, because Jordan was a game day captain for the Giants game, and that's just because how he's handled that responsibility when Bobby is not at practice. And so, hey, use your clues. I'm here to help. I'm always here to help, and of course, do my job. But part of my job is helping. So, but with that being said, I think it is a perfect time to play this clip.
Bobby is getting pretty close to 2,000 career tackles, which is a pretty rare feat for a linebacker. Obviously, you've known him a long time. What's the biggest area that you've seen him grow since your first stint with him in Seattle to now, and what do you think makes him such a prolific tackler?
Yeah, I would say the growth has probably been as much off the field. Like if you would follow us around the building, you might see him eating lunch with somebody on offense or that, and he's willing to like share this wisdom with the others. And so I think that's a really cool thing. Like the development of Jordan and Kane and Ale, it has a lot to do with him because of standards and approach and ways to go. And so like constantly trying to level up, you can imagine how like that just multiplies others. And but the tackling part alone, he's got great like spatial awareness and what I would call like tracking. And so when the runner's going outside to a different direction, oftentimes you'll see somebody take an angle that, you know, is too deep and the runner could cut him back. But his ability to track to a side, stay down, stay low, he's got great length. Like you've always felt that in his tackling, but it's so secure in that. Like he brings his feet. But it is definitely the most elite part of his game, and like he's the 1%er as a tackler, and yeah, it's remarkable to see.
Remarkable individual as well. And so I think it was important and well timed to understand the greatness that is in that building. You saw on Hard Knocks, right? Again, going back to Zach Ertz, working with Ben, and that wasn't for show. That wasn't because he got hurt. This is like an all the time thing. It was just, you know, dating back to last year in the Atlanta Falcons game when Jaden Daniels was exhausted and the world got to see Marcus being the one that, you know, told him, hey, you know, catch your breath, get up, you know, use your God-given abilities to win this football game. And Coach Quinn saying what he said about it's real. It's real. And so everybody who wants the young guys and all this, that, and the third, you know, I remember a time covering this team, and Wole, at that time, you were on site as well, where nobody knew who the leaders were.
Yeah.
Nobody, you know, some guys who are leaders now, right? Or maybe they were always leaders, but that being able to cultivate that leadership, you know, Terry was here, right? Tim Cosby was here. Jeremy Reeves was here, but you really couldn't cultivate. They didn't have anybody to help to really cultivate that. So you have that now, as well as veterans who understand this from all facets, the discipline part, the nutrition part, the film study part, just the actual on the field presence part of it. And you heard who Coach named: Jordan, Kane, Ale. You're starting to see differences in how those players are playing, largely because of Bobby Wagner. So when you hear people talking smack about Bobby Wagner, and I mean anybody, send them to me. It's like, no, don't send them to me. Please don't. Make sure you check them. Because do you want the young guys, you want them to play? That's one thing. Do you want them to play well? Do you want them to be elite? Do you want them to have the name recognition of a Zach Ertz, of a Bobby Wagner? Because not everybody got that. Matter of fact, most don't. So I'm going to be hard-nosed on how people talk, you know, because interestingly enough, Bobby Wagner had an extraordinary game on Saturday. And in a team that notoriously misses tackles, I just am amazed. And most of the time, it was because of some missed tackles that he had to go in there and tackle somebody.
Oh, he can tackle. I mean, I don't think anybody doubts that Bobby can tackle. I feel like he can dissect. He can dissect. He can dissect the run play.
Yes.
In the box, no one I don't think anybody doubts what he does in the box. I don't think that's where they had issues with. I guess the thing, I don't have an issue with Bobby. Everyone knows I like Bobby. I wanted Bobby like 2 years ago, so I mean, it is what it is for me. I've always wanted Bobby Wagner in Washington, so let everybody know how I am with Bobby. I think people, it's just when you see somebody for years play in this league and play at a high level, and and you're not getting, you're still getting him you're not getting him in a Bobby. I think you're not getting him in a Bobby Wagner level. That's what it is. Like you're getting him at a good level.
At it right, like if you're still top 5 in tackles, and that's what you do, then it's like okay.
Well, tackles, like the thing about this is the thing. Bobby Wagner, the Bobby Wagner that everybody knows. This is the thing. Like the Bobby Wagner that everybody knows, everybody remembers, is the Bobby Wagner who just was always a tackler, but also can cover. Like he was always good in space. Like that was Bobby. That was Bobby in Seattle. Even Bobby with LA with the Rams. Like Bobby has always been a guy who's been a multifaceted linebacker. He's not just a tackling linebacker. Like there's linebackers in the league who just tackle, who can't cover. But Bobby wasn't that. Bobby was the all-around linebacker. He's how people look at Fred Warner. Fred Warner Fred Warner can check whoever and get all the tackles. You know what I mean? Ray Lewis back. Like Bobby was he wasn't Ray, but he was close.
I mean, he'll finish third.
Yeah, been tackles. But I'm saying
one. Depending on how long he plays, let's keep that a buck. Yeah, he can play. People can listen. I think sometimes we all may look and reference athletes, world-class pro-level athletes, like we reference ourselves. Yeah. So therefore we project. So we project about the things we could do at 30, 31, 32, 34, 35. And it's like that's us projecting what our bodies could do and what we could do. We're not these pro people. We're not there. We're not even close. They ain't got a completely different regimen, completely different lifestyle, all of the things. So when you take all those things considered of what they're able to do, and I think I saw a comment that mentioned, demonstrating they're ready, not just because they're young, because then what would be the issue, right? It's like, daggone if you do, daggone if you don't. Sit Jada for the rest of the season, play him and he get hurt. Yeah. Play somebody before they ready, wait till they're ready. And it's like, you guys, they still got time. You're acting like these young guys are going to turn 35 tomorrow. You know what I mean?
I know, it just depends on where they're at. To be honest with you, to your point, it just depends on where they're at. They're ready to take the nod. For instance, Ray Lewis had to go one way or the other. Like he had to go eventually. Yeah. And Ray Lewis's last year was still getting a lot of tackles. So
I could have sworn he was like 37 to 38 or something like that.
Yeah, just depending on when your time is. It happens to whenever.
Fletcher was like 37 to 38. He played. Yeah. I mean, these are not stories that we've never heard before.
Yeah.
I mean, there's players in the league right now, active. Brandon Graham, he's older than Zach and Bobby. Like he's a
rotational dude though. He's a rotational dude, though.
Right? But it's like he came out of retirement. Like
I know. Look, I'm a Michigan fan. I love Brandon.
That's Brandon. Why I be like, you guys.
I love Brandon. I mean, there's some guys who there's a guy. Look at Phillip Rivers doing right now, man. Praise Phillip Rivers. You know what I mean? Look what he's doing right now. Phillip Rivers came back off the couch. I love Phillip.
Off the couch. With his high school team.
Yeah, man.
They are more motivated than ever. And his
Phil got like 80 kids.
Out here scared. You're like, you can't be out here scared. Turn that energy into motivation. If you feel you a certain type of way because of your age, that's you. Nobody else is looking. Call me. I'm a motivator. I help give you a motivational speech. I help you out. It help you out a little bit. Like, who cares about your age? The only person who cares about your age is you. So, ain't nobody
bring back Jason Campbell. Hey, chill out, bro. Chill out.
So
I like Jason. Chill out, though.
We got 3 more clips, you all. 3 more clips. Ooh. I think we're doing good on time. We got 3 more.
We're doing great. We're doing great on time.
And last 3 of these clips are all actually mine. So these are
better be.
my.
Are you sure? We don't need to see. We don't need to see everybody else's clip. We got you in the building.
Well,
We
you know
good.
I'm fair. You know how I if it works.
I mean,
into
sure.
the
You got like
storyline,
Lake Donna. I'm cool with it. But
yeah, if
everybody
it
else,
works,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't be caring about everybody else. I ain't gonna.
if it works into the storyline, I will definitely try to address it for sure. And we got this little thing. If you guys have questions, I know that Wole is already starring some of your questions, but if you have questions, definitely drop them in the chat, and we will try to get to as many questions as we can, since we're on like the home stretch here with these clips. I asked 2 after the game. And then, one in DQ's press conference yesterday. All these days are running together. So let's go ahead and get into these clips again.
Hey, Coach, when you all get down into the goal line from an offense perspective, is there anything around the analytics or just the overall decision-making on when you get right there, whether you're going for the run or the pass there?
Some of it is the decision to go, I would say, are some analytics like use some numbers like, 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. What would the percentage be? So like that's there. But you also factor in what do they play into that spot. So if a team was really strong loading the box and you say, okay, hey, I want to attack the perimeter or attack something differently, that's what you look at. So it does come into like both. Usually before the game, we're going through, in our meetings to say we'd go at this spot, we wouldn't at this spot. So that way we're kind of prepared. So when we get to that space, we know, hey, this is where we'd go from, this is where we'd kick from. And so I try to just be clear with everybody when we get to that spot. So maybe referring to like the first series, right on. So at that spot, if it was inside of 1 in this game, we thought, okay, that'd be a good spot to go. But further out, we thought, hey, getting the points to start the game would be the way that we would go. So sometimes even you run it, you gain 1, lose 1, where is it at? But it had to be closer, in that spot, and then you go. And I don't second guess those. Like this is the areas that we practiced, and then we dig in from there. But yeah, that's a little bit of both.
Just needed to ask because oftentimes, and you don't probably all sit there and watch the game, and I'm just trying to understand, right, and get the context. Maybe there's some analytics behind why you throwing 3 pass plays in a row, why you got 3 pass plays in a row, why you didn't run. So that is an opportunity for me when I'm asking those questions. That's an opportunity for me to understand the process in the game. So I'm not coming at it like I'm a know-it-all. Maybe there's some analytics behind this, right? Maybe there's, and always appreciate Coach Quinn's answers to my question. But that was an opportunity for me to get educated on it, and just know a little bit more, because oftentimes I don't understand the decision. So it's just and I get that, right? I get that, and that's why I had to pull back, because I got to be objective. I was like, okay,
got to pull back.
I got to pull back.
I like that.
Maybe it's something I got to pull back. Let me, hey, stay level, stay high. Look, maybe some analytics around this. Okay, so that was the answer to that question. And I want to go back to the Eagles game. We got to go back to the Eagles game for a moment here, because I think it's important.
That's the game. Got to go back to the game.
So I had this question for Coach, which was just for me, my summary, and what I really thought. So I'll get into what I really thought about that Eagles game after we watch this clip.
And it seemed like, the score was at like 14-10. It was like you all were right in it until you weren't. And I know you haven't had an opportunity to look at the film, but was there just a moment that you can think of and said, okay, this is kind of when the bottom fell out?
I think the long run by Saquon in the fourth, like we had a 4th down, maybe in the start of the 4th, maybe there was like 10 minutes or something like that, Candi, and we punted. I felt like that was the right call then. We were, close enough. If you get a good stop on the next one, we got a 3 and out, we got it again, and then there was a long one that he broke, maybe 40 or 50 yards. But I thought, stay in there. There wasn't going anything that was big over the top. And so I think that was the one that I felt like, man, the tank's getting emptied here, and it felt lower. So that was kind of that point in the game where I was like, back and forth. Could you get right back into it or not? at the half, I liked, the fight where we were starting with the ball, and obviously like losing Marcus in the game. That's like no doubt like a factor for it. But yeah, I don't know if there's that specific play felt bad.
And thank you all for the love again. When you all watch us, we go. I'm just gonna bring my expertise to bear because that's important to me anyway. Mm-hmm. But that's just how I move. I'm not the definitive end all be all. I'm there. Somebody had an opportunity to ask the question, so I'm not making an assumption. I call it fact-based opinions, if that makes sense, even though everybody's kind of bringing it. But it's like fact-based opinions. You have a data point, that's probably from my background in doing research. It's just, you got to get all your observations, you got to use all your clues, but you get an opportunity to confirm it or get another perspective to really help you draw the conclusions.
Yeah, losing Marcus just hurt. You knew the game. To me, the game was over when Marcus went down. I was like, knock on Josh Johnson as an individual, but when he came in the game, I was like, it's over.
Yep.
I was like, it's over.
Yep. But I do think that, and that's how I said it, right? And I feel comfortable saying it that way to Coach, which was, you were kind of in it until you weren't. I mean, they were still in it until the fourth quarter. They really were.
They were in it,
and it was so many moments. And you all know, like since week 7, I've been like, this offense has to find a way to score. Like, make it simple. Do what you need when you see folks are getting beat. Now there were some places there for penalties that I'm like, oh. And I saw a comment earlier about officiating. Yeah. Listen, some of that stuff was just plain way early. The way they ended the first drive when they had to kick the field goal, I'm like, that was a clear PI on Traylon. Like, he's holding.
It was. Yes.
And so it was. It's hard to watch. Especially when you feel like the game is in reach. I still don't feel like the run is being utilized enough, especially once Josh Johnson came in here. Just run the football. Do what's easy. Do what's easy to control the time of possession. It hurt not to score on that opening drive coming out at the half.
It did. It was hurt not to score that time when Mikey gets you named earlier, and Mikey gets the turnover on teams.
You got to score. You got to score that touchdown. You got to score. You got to get 7. What a way to just start the game.
Yeah.
Just with all the things, right? And
because
scoring.
It's hard, but I want to add this because because they score on these places, these possessions that we're speaking of, if Marcus gets hurt, then Josh Johnson doesn't have to lead you to a comeback. Maybe you're up. Maybe you're just asking Josh Johnson just to hold on rather than try to win the football game.
It's even easier to run the football because then you're not pressing. Then you're not pressing. You're not in panic mode. Like we had it and we lost it, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
And that with so much criticism of the defense, listen, they held. And once they were out there for 10 minutes, I said it in the press box, they were out there for 10 minutes. And I said, if the offense does not score after this drive, I said, that's the game.
This is with Josh Johnson in the game, right?
Right. Marcus had ended up getting hurt.
Yeah, I know he was.
I think the Eagles were out there for like 10 minutes. Because at that time, we didn't know if Marcus was coming back or not.
Yeah, gotcha.
But then it's like they were in the game until the fourth quarter. So for the defense to hold that long, because see, when I'm watching the game, because I'm sitting there with my computer, I'm watching the time of possession. I'm going back and checking what the plays were in certain series. I'm checking all of those things. And I'm like, yo, the defense is holding on by a thread. Oh my gosh. The offense has to score. They're within reach. They are within reach. If this offense can get some touchdowns on the board, if they could just some touchdowns, it could have made it interesting. But once they gave way, that 10-minute drive for Eagles offense, that 10-minute drive, I said, that's it. I said, because that's the game right there. Marcus wasn't going back in. right? We found that, figured that out, found that out. That Marcus wasn't going back in. And I'm like, this defense, you can't ask them to do much more than what they did.
Agreed.
That was the third quarter, and that run, losing Marcus, absolutely. And then that Saquon run that Coach Quinn was talking about, that happened in the fourth.
Yeah,
so imagine it was the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a big fourth quarter run. I thought it was already over before that, though.
Well, no, they were still within reach. It was 14-10. It wasn't.
No, because no, you're right. I just felt like I looked at who the quarterback was. I was like, yeah, it's over.
Once he threw that, once Marcus got hurt.
Yeah.
It was, but before
wasn't that big run? Marcus was out of the game when he hit the big run, though, right?
Right. That Marcus had gone out. Nobody knew at that point.
Okay. I got you.
But they stalled. You know.
Yeah, they stalled. Yeah.
Yeah, the Eagles, they stalled because they were like, okay, and they just kept the defense out there too long. But once that score is still there, right? Because I think it was a couple things that happened. It was a few, because at that point in time, I'm like, Jake Elliott keep missing field goals. You got a chance. You got a shot. And so they didn't.
They called it offside.
Got a field goal. Right. That happened. And there were other times where, again, defense could have been getting off the field. Here comes a penalty.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold this question in too. You tell me when you let me know you want ready to answer questions. Keep going.
I got one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll go into all questions. One more clip, and then we'll go into all questions, and then we'll try to close this out like right around 9:30.
I work. I'm cool. I'm good.
Hey, Coach. I think I guess including yesterday, I guess the last 3 times you all have played the Eagles, it's gotten a little intense. And then yesterday just boiled over.
Yes.
For lack of a better word on the intense. Is there a moment where you consider with another, them playing them again in just a couple of weeks, where you get on the phone with Nick Sirianni or just have a conversation like, hey, how are we going to settle this down? Or is it kind of like, look, this is just football and you just play and go for it and whatever happens.
Yeah, definitely not the second one of whatever happens. Like, that's not what we want, or the other team either. It's not good for us. I don't want those punches thrown. Both teams want to play tough, want to have good, battles. And I loved so much of the first half of the game of, a physical game, but never where we're crossing the line on either team. So we want it tough, we want it physical, but never to where, somebody's getting jammed up on punches thrown, penalties, all of that. We can play tough, we can play physical, and we can do it without punching. Both teams know that, and that'll certainly be, brought across to our team. But I'll let Nick, handle his team. But yeah, definitely not what we want, and both sides, that'll be a big emphasis for us for sure.
Thank you. So Eagles coming back up in a couple weeks. Dallas on Thursday. 2 teams that are out of the playoffs. The only thing I'll say about the Thursday game, because I've not said a word about that Cowboys game, which is basically Merry Christmas. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm also going to say, you know what? Hey, Commanders fans, hey, listen. Go to the game. I mean, at this point, it's just camaraderie, some good trash talking. Both teams are out of it. Just go and enjoy yourself. Why not? It's no reason for a bunch of Cowboys fans to be there. No, just go and chill out. Merry Christmas. Yeah. And that's it. Because it's not it's the same. Maybe have a good day.
Yeah, I don't be going to games, so I ain't doing.
I'm like, you know what?
Maybe I don't be at games, so I don't even know.
Everybody just go. Just go. And just enjoy yourself. And they ain't got nothing to play for. He's going out there for bragging rights.
My man said, what did my man say? He said, Sirianni wants to fight because he doesn't have the skill, or emotional intelligence to motivate his players beyond anger.
I don't know, but Hard Knocks is going to be interesting.
I don't know if he went to smoke with Dan Quinn 1-on-1. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if he want that smoke. That man played linebacker at Salisbury. That man about that smoke. We got that
Mazak said he will be there.
You gonna be there, Mazda? You gonna be there? All right, man. All right. I ain't gonna be there though, but hey, man, enjoy it, man. It's be merry. Enjoy your Christmas that way, man. I just don't let them stress you out during Christmas, man. It ain't worth it. That's all I'm saying. It ain't worth it. But we got the questions. Let's go over the questions. I know I had told, I'm gonna start with Paul because he's the first started question. It says, Candi, quick question. Does this front office this front office move, or is this front office more of a think outside the box group or conventional?
I think I would need a little bit more context.
He wants to know, like, in terms of like hires, like coaches and whatnot. Are they looking for younger guys, conventional, like retreads, like, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator? Like, what type of dudes are they outside the box going for, that young up and coming guy rather than somebody who's done it before?
I mean, I get some young guys on there right now. I mean, I brought like the Brian Johnson. I've talked a lot about David Blau. Coach Tavita had been here for a very long time. He went over to Stanford.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, hey, for what it's worth, I mean, Coach Donatel is young. You know what I mean? It's I think it's always important. I mean, it's a relationship driven business. So it's always important to maybe check who is part of the decision making, if you will. All is a part of the decision making. Because I mean, they take advice, of course, right? And who that group of individuals are connected to. Right? Because we know that people move around all the time. I mean, somebody asked a question about Al Harris earlier. I know, like, just not internally to the Commanders, but I know just in general, folks have been talking about Chris Harris. Like, would you bring Chris Harris back? Would you be looking at, different things? I mean, I have a lot of different I have perspectives on it for certain. And I hinted to that earlier. But I think that, I mean, this is when I look across the league at staffs now, it's a little bit of everything. Because it's so many, it's just a lot of positions. So you have somebody who, folks who have been in the league a very long time, some who are considered up and coming, others that you just don't even know who they are. Right. I kind of, I make comments now about the Mike McDonald tree, right? You know what I mean? And people are like, well, you really don't know about them yet. Well, okay, but so, like, how much do you need to know? And so, when I made a comment earlier, and I hope everybody was using their clues, like, from a numbers perspective, I'm looking at what you did the last 3 years. I don't even know I don't need no 5. I mean, what have you done in the last 3 years? Because the league is ever evolving, and I just want to see that consistency there. You can look at, from a defense perspective, I'll tell anybody right now, yes, I'm looking at what Mike McDonald and his team, his staff has done in the last 2 years. I'm looking at the Texans.
Yeah.
Houston Texans.
Oh, they're killing.
And what they're doing from a defensive perspective. I mean, there's a few others, but those are the two that I'm like, who's over here? Right? Take a look at the Chargers from a defensive perspective, like Broncos, even maybe. Broncos
got real good defense.
And it's a strategy. It is a strategy to it to really look at the numbers, who's been consistent in areas that the Commanders aren't excelling at, right? Because you might be surprised when you look at the numbers, you might be like, not even all that bad, but some there are, right? And you look at those numbers of what isn't consistent, what has gone downhill, and all that kind of deal. And I'm gonna really get into kind of what I've been thinking and how I got to those conclusions, just to share them with you all. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally right.
So we'll
see.
All right, we got another one for you, Ken. Earl said, "This my man, Darian's DH's pops, man. What's going on, Earl? He says, in your opinion, should DQ continue to play a strong role calling the defense, regardless if we hire a new DC?
I think so. Here's what I think. I think that the pairing of a strategic, you got to know personnel. You have to know personnel. But in terms of scheme and how you use that personnel, is important. Again, the league is ever evolving. So if you play teams in a division that you used to coach in, they probably know you pretty well, right? They're used to your scheme. They know what you do. Might be why you have such a tough time winning in the division, because they are aware of you. So, I think that you just there's some diamonds in the rough. There's names that we don't even know.
Yeah.
It's just names that we don't even know. And I think there's always a lot of emphasis, and I'm not certain why. Like I would love to know why people make such a big deal about age. And the reason why I say that is because, again, there's plenty of young coaches on this staff. Plenty of young scouts. You need to be looking at that too. And from an evaluation perspective of talent, be looking at that as well. I think there needs to be a strategy of some sort of maybe you really get away from the people that you know and that are used to your scheme and the people who have been up against you for a few years now within the division, and pair yourself with someone that's out of the division that has been doing very, very well in the areas in which you are weak. That is what I think. As much of a summary as possible, right? Because you're coming from a different perspective. And people who are used to you just going to know you regardless of where you are. And even for some folks, you look at an Andy Reid and some of these guys, and they not this season, but hey, it is what it is. It was going to happen at some point. Or you look at a Mike Vrabel, you know what I mean? People have been in the league for years. You take an opportunity to really understand and learn the direction of where things are going. And you can do it yourself, yeah, but it's hard. It's hard. You need a team of people that can keep up, because some of these teams, let's go back to Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores. Coach Kingsbury said it. Sometimes B-Flow, he changes his defensive scheme every week. So it's hard to plan for him. But you got to be somebody that's about that kind of time and not with people that know you. I'm big on that. You got to be able to pair yourself with somebody that is going to be good, maybe just for that season, or maybe a season or two. Because once they figure you out, we saw that here. Once they figure you out, it's always all good when they don't know you. The success happening in New England, some of the success you're seeing in Denver, some of the success you're seeing in Chicago, some of the stuff, even the success you're seeing in Jacksonville, a lot of that is because the people don't know them. It's new. It's different. You got to see how it goes from a consistency perspective. I love what they're doing, but that's also the benefit of being new to that environment, not new to football, just new to that environment. Because look at Broncos. Sean Payton not new to this. He not young.
Yeah, no. He's again. There's levels to this.
There's levels to it. You gotta understand.
If you're a coach that age is only used when you're not the same person, or you're not playing at the same level. That's where, or you're not coaching at the same level. That's when people use age. But no, in terms of coaching,
because they think younger means better or smarter.
Yeah, well, the younger player has to be better. That's the thing. The younger player has to be better, have potential. I don't it has to be a younger player that's promising. For instance, I'll give you an example. When Tom Brady took the job for Drew Bledsoe, it wasn't like Drew Bledsoe wasn't bad. And actually, truth be told, when Tom Brady went down that year, he did take over. Drew Bledsoe got them to the Super Bowl actually because he came in and won 2 big games and got to the Super Bowl. He was an older quarterback, but they went back to Tom Brady. It's not that Drew Bledsoe was a bad vet. It's just the younger player was good for them. It worked for them. You know what I mean? So it depends on your situation. To me, the fact is it's cool to like a young player. The young player has to show you promise. If he doesn't show you promise, then you shouldn't be talking about the younger player. Like I think there's a reason why people talk about McGee a lot. It's because one, the coaching staff likes him. So it's not like he's a dude that no one likes. Because Dan Quinn talked about him today. He talked about him today. Talking about he excites him every time he sees him, like he's getting better. And that's a thing. That's a credit to Bobby and come that this kid is getting better. But it excites the fans. And then when they see clips of him making these sideline plays, people, when they put 2 and 2 together, they get excited about it. Like I don't get excited about Kay Madrano. I ain't gonna lie to you because I know what Kay Madrano is. Personally, like I know what he is. I think he's more raw. He's a guy that if you look at his body of work in college, he was a guy who had issues tackling in college. And it's hard to have issues tackling in college. You're gonna have issues tackling in the NFL. You can be as fast as you want to be, but you're going to have issues when you come into the league as a tackler if you're not great at it in college. So I like Kay Madrano. I understand, I get the Kay Madrano situation and why he doesn't sometimes get the play and get those roles for the defense. I understand that totally. You know what
right. I mean, I think what you're saying is you're able to look at the whole picture, not his age.
No, I don't look at his age because you gotta when you're playing at such a when you got a young player who shows promise, then you're always gonna give that give and take. I don't care what profession you are. If he's showing promise, if you're the older player, fans are gonna always look at it and say, maybe that young player should get more. That's always gonna be a thing if you're a young player that's showing promise. If you're a player if you're a younger guy that shows promise, if you're a guy that doesn't show any promise, 9 times out of 10, well, like the rational fans, they're not gonna ask the younger player to play if he doesn't show any type of promise. I think to his credit, to a player like McGee's, to his credit, the reason why people keep trying to ill on Bobby Wagner, which I get to your point, I think Bobby in a better situation, a better scheme, he'd be fine. But when you look at McGee, when he gets the opportunities to show those flash plays, he's making some flash plays, and that shows promise. So for him, I guess it's a credit to him that he's shown promise enough that folks really want to see him out there. And also, like, it'd be different if the coaching staff wasn't even talking about him, but they are talking about him. They are talking about how he's become a captain, from like a captain, a game day captain. He was mentioned today in the presser about how like these games, in these remaining games, players like Burke, McGee, he gets excited about seeing somebody like McGee. I think he singled out McGee, I believe. So like when that regard, that's when people I get like for McGee's credit, I think he has proven a point where like people want to see him because they they hear the hard work. I won't say see the hard work. They hear the hard work. What they see on game day is like flash plays, but they hear about the hard work.
Yeah, and it's going to take some time. Like, I mean, he's not in the same situation as like Mikey was, or like or Mikey is, I should say, or Josh Connolly Jr. is, and last year I was also very big on Jordan McGee. The linebackers is one of my crews. Okay, it's one of my crews, is one of my communities. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna be tight when it comes to linebacker talk in Washington. I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, everybody, hold on. And that's because you also, to your point, I'm there, so I know what's happening.
Yeah, right? You know what's happening. Yeah, so
from the development standpoint, and it's going very well. But you also have to remember, he was a person that was injured.
Yeah, from last year.
And what I might have to bring up are receipts, because I keep receipts. And week 5 last year, I asked Bobby Wagner on camera because Jordan's 21-day window had opened up.
Yeah.
to return to practice. He was on IR. And Bobby Wagner was extremely complimentary. Of course, he was of Jordan McGee. And he was like, hey, when he gets right, like, he's going to be very good. Like, you know? And so it's like this thing of like, there's some type of contingent. It's all not true. And I mean, I don't know what people make up in their heads.
What are you talking about? Like,
real life.
What you mean?
Like it's an issue. Like there's.
I don't think anybody thinks that.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, no, this ain't no.
No. I don't think anybody thinks that. Like, I mean, personally, Paul would know this because we had like a draft show, and like I didn't know about Jordan McGee in college, so I went to go back and watch his film because I like to see if it translates. Because I was like, okay, this Jordan McGee dude. Like, they got his stuff. His film it pops out. Like. Yeah. Truth be told, I won't even lie to you. When I saw him, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's going to be a starting linebacker here."
Absolutely.
Not with Bobby, but he's going to learn. My thought process, we signed Bobby Wagner. My thought process was he's going to learn so much from Bobby Wagner, and I feel like in a year or two, this is how I looked at it at this time. In a year or two, he'll be a starting line. He'll be the starting middle linebacker. This is back when he was drafted because I like players who if they go to a smaller school, going to Temple. He went to a smaller school, going to a smaller school and able to play at a high level against bigger schools when you get the opportunity. That says a lot to me. And he was the type of kid that I know I believe he had a big game against Maryland. I could be wrong, but he's had big games against big time schools in terms of getting a bunch of tackles. And then how he flies to the hole, like what he's doing when he gets an opportunity in the league is what he did in college. Like eventually will be a tackling machine. Like how we talk about Bobby, like he is that explosive. Once he gets into a position of like the middle, once he gets to be a middle linebacker, because he'll be on the field every down. He will be in a position to get a lot of tackles. I'm not saying at the level of Bobby, but he does have the ability. He is a very fascinating young linebacker. I will say that he's a very fascinating one. So I get why Bobby would say like. He's close, like he'll get it. He's going to be a dude because he's got the ability. Like he does have the ability.
Absolutely.
You got another question. Mander Nations said Javon Kinlaw has been my favorite player this year by a long shot, and I actually mailed him my jersey for him to sign after talking to him. How do you feel he's done this year?
I think he's done well. I've always wanted to see more from the defensive line. It's hard when your pass rush is on IR. Javon Kinlaw is one of my most favorite people on that team. Seriously. And he's going to bring the energy. He's going to throw some punches, as everybody saw on Saturday. He don't play about his brothers. So, but in terms of play, I think he's done well for sure. It's hard with the pass rush not being present. I always say the inside defensive line as a unit. It's like I always want to see more ruckus, more pressure on the quarterback, because it doesn't always just come from the pass rush when you know what I mean. It's like there could be some more that collapses in the inside that I don't always see when I'm watching other teams their run game. And that could be something dealing with scheme or just the opposing team or just how good the opposing team's offensive line is. But I think he's had a very good season. I'm a Javon Kinlaw advocate for certain. And I'm definitely glad I get to cover him with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, he's been here. He's definitely shown flashes, man. He's definitely shown flashes. I mean, he's shown flashes. He's been he's played his role. That's how I like to say. That's how I like to put it. He's played his role. And from the DMV, man, you gotta love it. Deluxe says, we see what Tyler Owens does on teams. How is his development coming on defense?
I think he has some opportunities early on.
Yeah.
And I don't think some of them went so hot.
Yeah.
And even since the change in play calling, you don't see him taking defensive snaps as much. He definitely has the speed. He definitely has the physicality. But I think, still some growth to be, there from just overall scheme and understanding, assignments and being on point with your assignments. So I know that was a undrafted rookie they were very, very high on last year. but I think it still remains to be seen how his growth goes from
Mm-hmm.
that perspective. Again, speed, physicality, yes, those are two things of a very complex set of how you're utilized when you start taking those defensive snaps. Special teams, sometimes I'll just be like, go down there and get it. Just go tackle somebody. Just don't let them get down the field. But there's still assignments there as well.
Yeah,
So.
straight facts. Ellison says, Candy, did anyone say anything about the Cooper DeJean kickoff return when he caught it outside the end zone and went back into the end zone and then brought it out to return? Was that legal?
Back out the end zone. No, I don't think
Yeah, he got nailed. He kneeled. I saw it.
He kneeled and then he still came back out. Yes.
Yeah, like he was already in the field of play. Then he went backwards. It ain't supposed to be legal. It ain't supposed to be. Well, what he ran it out. He kneeled it back. He kneeled it right. It was a touchback, right? He didn't run it back out.
I thought it was a touchback. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not legal. That's supposed to be a safety. If he took it, if he ran out, it's supposed to be a safety. I ain't gonna lie to you, Ellison. I watched a little bit of it. Then I changed the channel, and I didn't study it because I was annoyed. I get annoyed. I get annoyed.
I was like, what are he doing?
I wasn't annoyed. I'm saying back. I wasn't annoyed. I was already over the game though. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, this game is.
Hey man, like at the beginning of the game, like the
beginning was good. They was lit.
And I mean, Coach said that in my question, like that first half, they were in it. If they could have came out at the half since they deferred and scored a touchdown, and we saw that happen so many times last year, where they defer, they come back out, they control the time of possession, they score a touchdown. And you didn't see any of that this year for real. You didn't see any of it at all. And I remember like in the first. Remember when the Eagles tried to draw them off sides?
Yeah.
And Frankie was like real hype. It was like they knew. Frankie was super hype.
They were trying to get him again.
They was like, "You trying to get us again? We know what you're doing." And then now you getting them to false start on their own play.
Yeah,
they did it like twice.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
There's an intensity there. The scoreboard doesn't show it. The scoreboard doesn't show it at all. But there is something with these two teams. It's something.
Man. I mean, one team's just better though, so it is.
One team, yeah, absolutely is better. But even if you go back to their first meeting, that's when Jaden was. I think he was dealing with his ribs thing or whatever, the injury. But I mean, I don't know that for sure.
The first game, you mean first game in Philly?
Very first game, Thursday night football.
That game was close. That was a good game. That was a competitive
game.
Yeah,
the defense had him on the ropes again. Yeah. Saquon break one late in the game.
Oh, that game was good.
The offense couldn't score that night.
Yeah,
the offense wasn't that night. True. And you've seen it. And but when the bridge break, it broke. It's gone. Yeah, like it's it. And that's the only thing. But it's not like I could see it. Like, they watching the film. They got you false starting on your own play, on your own move. Y'all, it was interesting. But the offense couldn't get going. I'm gonna keep saying that because you know what you're dealing with on defense. You know what you're dealing with on defense. And if you still that close, what else y'all want? What I say y'all, not meaning you all, but like what else you want the defense to do? Listen, in this league, if you can't put points up,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
No, it's definitely a
wrap.
And
another thing when it comes to the tackling, pay attention to this. If you all watch across the league, one of the things that I've noticed across the league, I've noticed so many missed tackles.
Big time.
Sometimes it's missed tackles because people are too busy trying to punch the ball out.
That too. Washington does that a lot, though. They need to stop doing it. They do that a lot, though. Washington does a lot.
Yes. And so
much.
I saw Jacksonville and Denver do it a little bit in their game. And I've seen I've seen it happen. And in the, what do they call it? The takeaway culture or in takeaway times where everything is about punching the ball out. Players are missing tackles. It's a thing. But I'll get to that later. But I think there was a question about Bill. Oh, right here. No, he wasn't hurt.
No, yeah, Paul. That's Paul. I mean, yeah, he wasn't hurt.
No.
All right. Let me take this off then.
No. Nobody said anything. No.
Mander Nation is speaking of the DMV. Bill almost got 100 yards against the Giants. Wow. What do you say? Wow. while wearing phones. Is that not crazy? Wearing phones is like having bricks on your feet. I could not imagine sprinting in them. I know, right? How you running in phones? It's crazy. That's wild. Um, that's good one. Center Corey said, how come no one on the team media can properly pronounce Bill? Bill should never be pronounced like with the cross key merit. It's just Bill. Saying BCM is like saying C. Rod Rodriguez 100% unnecessary. Y'all crazy, bro. Deluxe says, hey, well, how are you? Have a feeling you and I have very different game day watching habits. I do. I have bad game day watching habits, bro. Like I'm superstitious, but this season has been like
rough.
It's been rough. It's just been rough. That's a great point, Candy. Candy always make great points. Thank you. Oh.
Thank you.
Paul said, Santiago says, Paul, you know what happened to the running game. Oh, yeah, we already know that. All right, I'm just read some. Okay, we're good. But yeah.
Does anybody have any more questions?
Any more questions, y'all? We here.
Merry Christmas. Go to the game. If nothing else, just build camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? And just go and it's really just for bragging rights at this point.
She's right. And also, like, to your Deluxe, I watch the game. But when I when I know when the mode of the game is, I'm like, man, screw this. I ain't watching this crap no more. Like when I can already tell how it's going, I won't even entertain it. Like this is how the season has gone for me. They have emotionally pulled me out. I was pulling in like thoroughly, you know what I mean? But since I gotta do a post game, I kind of go back and I go to YouTube TV and I rewind so I don't miss like important stuff. I'll be like, all right, that happened. All right, that happened. All right, that happened. Oh, Mikey got an interception. Oh, that's what's up. I need to make sure I watch it. You know what I mean? Because I gotta talk like I know everything on the post game show. So, and if that was the case, I'd be quiet all the time. So God bless streaming TV stuff, man. I tell you, I can rewind like crazy. I be rewind like a mug. I mean, God bless streaming and God bless DVRs. Back in the day, before the stream, I used to go to cable DVR. I used to rewind all the time. Man, I'm telling you, it's the life. Like now, when I get annoyed, I don't gotta sit in real time and get annoyed, man. I can go backwards and be like, all right, I don't need to watch this.
Yay, I be sitting there watching, and then sometimes
you gotta watch everything, and then you gotta interview players after that. I'd be mad. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I used to cover the game, my first year, I won't lie to y'all. My first year was like the most annoying part. Like I ain't know, man. My first year, we were a playoff team. We made it a playoff team. I'm not even sure, but my first year, I won't even lie. Like I think we were bad this year. We were bad my first year. Now I think about it, we were bad. My first year on the beat. And then, like, when I saw these players and they ain't care like I cared, like, I used to, like, really I was really in my feelings.
I think you would. You would. I mean, I know you like doing what you do. And I already got bad because I was like, I think this group would be your type of time. They would be on your type of time.
Yeah, probably would.
Because they do care.
Mm-hmm. No, I can tell they care though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do think they care. Like,
yeah, for sure. This is a different group. They do care. Any updates on Tim McKay? No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I do think they care.
Yeah, no, that's what keeps me engaged, and I ask thoughtful questions, not disrespectful, and so it's difficult though. Yeah, it's difficult.
No, I but I do think they care. I do think they care, though. I don't want to act like I don't think they care, because I think you can tell when people. You could tell. Like I actually think they they play hard. They are playing hard. I still think they just it just is not working out for whatever reason. But I do think they checked out on defense when Joe Witt was there, though. I won't lie to you. I do think they checked out.
I mean, even though it's not turning. The change did not impact the win-loss record.
But you see their energy is different, though. The energy is different.
Effort. That's right. You see the different level of effort.
Yeah. I'm not saying I agree with you. I don't think that. I'm saying I personally think they checked out on Witt because of what we just talking about. Because you're right, the energy is different. The energy wasn't like this on defense prior, though. It was not. And if anybody tells you differently, I'm sorry, but the energy is totally different. Now, The results still the same.
You
Like
just start right. So that's people
like
will be able to tell.
Nah, but you can
it's
tell
different because they say they can't tell because the results didn't make a difference. But they listen. I'm gonna keep saying it. But when you got an offense that cannot score, what are you supposed to do? Like, what are you supposed? I mean, the league is built on high-powered offenses. Now, again, going back to my point of like, freaking. I mean, let me go back to the Jacksonville-Denver game.
Yeah,
and everybody knows how I feel about Denver defense.
Oh yeah, bitch. My man Sunshine is killing. He's killing. For y'all who hate on my man Sunshine, y'all was hating on my man Sunshine. I love Sunshine. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I love Sunshine. That's my guy. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Candi. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you don't see teams run numbers up on some of these defenses, on some of these, see offenses run up, some numbers, and it's going to go toe to toe. It's going to get tight. But you have to be able to score touchdowns.
Yeah, not field goals. Yeah, that's true.
Not field goals, touchdowns. And we just have not seen the offense get into any type of rhythm at all. I feel like just at all. And I know it's hard with the injuries and everything, but that's a conversation for another day because I got a lot on that topic. But I just felt like to this question, hey, I would hope.
Oh man.
And so it's
theory that the players may have been out on with as play caller, but still in on him as a coach. I mean that's possible.
You can be part of the team. That's what I'm saying. You can be part of the team. Yeah, I mean the Raiders, the Chargers. The Raiders and the Chargers.
Chargers are a good look because we're looking at the Chargers now. That's a good look. The Chargers are one of the best teams in the NFL. The Raiders are trash.
And then they came back the next week.
And the Cowboys
got them.
And the Cowboys got it was the Cowboys. It was the Cowboys. The Bears game. It was the Bears game. That's right.
And they were winning that, and they turned the ball over. And the Bears made them pay for the turnover.
Yeah. The season really turned after that Bears game. I know people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it though.
They don't want it, man. That was to be objective. That's what it is.
It did turn because you think about it. You think about the Chargers game, and in that game, you have a chance to win 2 in a row. Now you kind of had some momentum. Yeah, truth be told,
and they were winning the Chicago game, but the turnovers, they made them pay for the turnovers. The Bears scored on each one of those turnovers that the Commanders committed.
Uno reversed. I know, bro. Reverse card. You ain't lying, man. Yeah, I'm saying you ain't lying, my guy.
So it is what it is. I mean, everybody had a bone to pick, and I warned everybody. Nobody wanted to listen to my revenge game theory.
You did.
I was clear on the revenge game theory.
Yeah, you were.
I said, listen to me. These 3 are coming back for what they feel like the Commanders stole from them last year. I was like, the Falcons, the Bears, the Lions.
We definitely stole.
Obviously, in the revenge tour. That's it. Ain't no revenge.
Obviously, they was in their feelings because it definitely was, man. The Bears going to the if they get, they could. I mean, they could.
The defense is lit. Monsters in the defense that they rolling right now, and Caleb in his bag. Caleb is having the season. We said that before. Remember back during the preseason, I said Caleb is going to have the season he didn't have last year because of the coaching shenanigans.
Yeah.
Okay, but Ben Johnson is right there with
Seattle.
I want to go back to Seattle and LA.
Yeah,
okay.
Seattle,
I don't want anybody to forget Seattle and
those
LA.
are teams to me. Like I don't even.
The Eagles are still in it. They still in it.
Oh, Eagles still in it too. Eagles are a really good team, man.
You can't just be like, oh, listen, this one is. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that could. I mean, they could. I think that
Green Bay, if they got to face Green Bay somehow I'm
gonna say this though. I'm gonna be real. Like, yeah, I think Green Bay is a good team. I just don't know in the long run how much they're going to be the same.
Losing Michael Hurts.
There you go. So I don't think. Scott, I think that I know you're saying, but I do think that. I think they got it, and in Chicago, no Micah, they got a better chance. I would still pick Chicago. I would pick Chicago over Green Bay because even even the game in Green Bay, they almost beat them in Green Bay. Chicago almost beat them in Green, and that's with Micah. So yeah, I think they have a good opportunity.
No, this is
Deluxe.
good.
Nah, I'm an area dude. I'm an area dude. I love my.
I think it's real. I mean,
Taylor's good. I think Taylor. Yeah, go ahead.
That quarterback class, Caleb, Jaden,
yeah, that's true.
Drake May, JJ McCarthy. I know he been hurt, but JJ McCarthy and Michael Penix. I'm telling you, I think they might be my favorite class since what was it? Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold. That class.
Okay, they were the same. Oh, because Josh, he
was.
They probably were. I didn't think about it.
It was like 4 or 5 of them all in the same class. They all came
together. This class got a chance to be like
class right here.
Bo Nix.
I really believe that this class right here, last year's quarterback class, when we talk about, that's your next group of leaders right there.
And I'm gonna say this too, Deluxe. I know you're trying to say, I'm gonna say this too, Deluxe. I know you're saying fool's gold, but I'm gonna say this though and be real. Some people got the clutch gene. You know what I'm saying? Like that clutch gene is real, and like Caleb clutch gene is real. Like I know you may like if you feel it. Like he throws a lot of like I ain't gonna hold you. Like them some passes I'd be like, damn, bro, like dude wide open, you can put that on him. But like when it's like 2 minutes left in the game. He got a clutch gene like that. That's something you really, and that's something that you build over time that everybody don't like know. Like it's a, but I could tell, like I could tell it's okay.
But I also I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier, and we saw it happen because it happened in Washington.
Yeah.
Let's see how they run it once everybody got film on you.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. That's what I agree. Like this year is fresh. This year is fresh.
And Caleb. Now I believe in the class though. Let me be clear. I believe in that class. But let's just see. Because remember, after the joint practices, I told you, Wole, I said to you, I said, oh no, Drake May's gonna be just fine. He's never
I know.
Remember, I said that to the Patriots. I told everybody, I said the Patriots are going to be very, very good this season. I said they are going to have the season that the Commanders had last year, no doubt.
Well, I told folks last year, like I said that if you watch any of those situations, Drake May, I was like, Drake May had no talent last year. That's why I knew Drake May was going to be good. I knew Drake. I was like, he had no talent around him, and I knew he was going to be, and he still had he had a decent rookie year for a rookie quarterback for real with no talent. So I was like, and I was like, all right, you gonna give him a coordinator and gonna give him some more. You gonna get Stephon Diggs? I said, oh, and you got some good draft picks with him. I said, oh, you about to get what you want. Good. Yeah, he was going to be good. Yeah, he was going to be good. And then Caleb, and I knew Caleb with Ben Johnson. I said, when you give Caleb Ben, he's going to be better off with Ben Johnson compared to where he was last year. So I'm not surprised at any of these guys' growth. So to your point, I love this. I think this is the best. I think this is the best quarterback draft. I'm going to go older since Dan Marino. Oh, even before that, I'm gonna be real. Even before
Jackson, all them. I like that class.
This one has like more guys though. Like it has like 5-6 guys. I would go before that. I would go with like if you go back to like Dan Marino's draft, like Dan Marino. I had like John Elway, Dan Marino. You had like Hall of Famer just in that joint.
Oh yeah,
this class is special. This class is so special.
I mean, they'll plant their mark in history in their own ways as their time goes on. No. A lot of people ask me questions about
83 class.
I wholeheartedly believe Jaden is going to be fine. Everybody just needs to
Jaden's fine. Like
this is like he told us last week when he did talk to the media. This thing with the injuries is new territory for him. It's new territory for his family. This has never happened to him. Everybody do your part in crushing that injury prone narrative as well, because this is not true. This has been a rough year. This is a whole nother conversation, and we're gonna close this out.
Yeah, it's a whole other conversation
around the injuries this season. We're gonna talk about that in the off season, because the off season is basically here for the Commanders. It is the injuries have been disturbing. Like every game, I don't know what's happening, but it's bad.
Are they going to do something? I think I heard the question. They're going to do something differently in the offseason to maybe tailor it because of so many injuries?
What are you talking about? Like the Commanders?
Like the Commanders, like the injuries, because they have so many injuries. Are they going to like maybe do something different next year? Because there's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of injuries, man. It's a lot of injuries.
It's on my list of fact find. It's on my list.
Yeah.
And then you just look across the league, and it's like, even from a veteran perspective, I mean, we're seeing players get injured, like out, that never dealt with injuries. And so it's something. I don't know. I don't know if it's something with the preparation. I don't know. I was like, is everybody vegan? What's happening? They not. I mean, like, what's going on?
I eat a lot of vegan food. That ain't nothing to do with getting hurt. Don't do that to us. To folks. I mean, don't do that to us.
Like, I'm trying to.
I feel like I could just call it straight or something. What's happening?
Everybody need to go back to eating cheese.
I just called it straight. Just chilling.
Everybody needs to go back to eating burgers. Like, just eat the burger. Just eat it. I don't know.
Man, go eat some meat. Hey, pause.
I will pull y'all some pork chops if you need, but let me stop.
Work hard to get your body with help. Yeah, Trent,
he's a fountain of youth, isn't he? Man, he's a fountain of youth.
Man, Trey, my guy, man.
Do we need to check people's blood types? Isn't that a thing tied to? Let me stop.
Yeah.
Let me stop because people take me seriously. But I do have it on my list.
Is same staff as last year with barely any injuries.
It just could have been like it happened.
Yeah, I mean, but he did say the only reason I asked that because I know a question was asked and he was like, "I got to assess everything." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sometimes the season is
everything.
Yeah, you got to, but like when injuries happen like this, you know, you would be foolish as a coach. Deluxe, you'd be foolish as a coach not to see if you can change something up. You're right. Sometimes that just happens, but you had so many injuries, man. It's crazy.
I mean, because last year they were just blessed. And you know, one of Pop's Waller saying is typically whoever is the healthiest, is the healthiest in the end. And I think there's something to that from a starter perspective. Whichever team is the healthiest with their starters, typically, you know, if they decent, they can make something work.
That's a fact.
Unfortunate. I think everything this season, you can't have a conversation about this Commander season without talking about the injuries. It is what it is. Do I believe there's some games they still could have won? Yes, I do.
The Niners were hurt last year too. That's a fact.
And you wouldn't even. Yeah, the injury. I mean, took completely different. And so, you know, I think it's just a part of the fact finding. It's interesting. It's interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. This has been dope, though.
Oh, thank you. Listen, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. We celebrate
all that good jazz. And man. Make sure y'all
share, subscribe, all of that. If you are in the Prince George's County, Maryland area, you can find Bowie TV on Comcast channels 190 and 1097. What is it? Short practice for us next tomorrow. And it's game Thursday. Then it's a long time off. I guess we'll come back and do a show next Monday, right, Wole? And then after that, it's the end of the season. So it's just one more show, and then the last show we do, we'll have to talk about that, Wole, because that'll typically be longer. And the reason why it'll be longer, and just this is already long, but when they have locker room clean out, there's a lot of interviewing, a lot of conversation, just a lot of all the things. So I will try to be as creative and savvy as possible and maybe try to, do some of that. But if you're not near the area, that's okay. You watch it here. Subscribe to and Urban Sports Scene. And you can see all of our content here as well. Make sure you follow us. But I'm gonna still do shows. Last year I took off. Well, we were doing shows through the end of January last year. Season. So I was always on. But we'll just have to see what happens. I might, like, after the season is over, and after I do that last show after locker room clean out, I might take like a week or so off. Like, good night, y'all. Good night, and like go to sleep for like a week. But if things start moving kind of fast,
That's Paul asking.
I'm not. I will be.
Paul's like, any breaking news? Will there be emergency pods? That's what Paul's asking.
Well, like what type of time? It depends. Well, like it depends on what type of time you on. More than likely, yes, I will do.
I'm always down for an emergency pod. It gotta be it gotta be something really good. Like it gotta be like
it'll be something that people should. Yes, I will just use.
It's gotta be like a coach being hired or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like an offensive coordinator, coach, or defensive coordinator.
I just 1 week, just 1 week of just like I just want to go to bed, but that probably won't happen. So,
a question for Mr. Attitude there, 3774. Nah, man, not happening.
I think it's Josh Johnson.
Yeah, man, Josh Johnson, man. I mean, I used to like Josh Johnson in college. I won't lie to folks. I liked him in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said,
bonus pods. Yeah, my buddy Tom does call them bonus pods. We'll find a savvy word for it.
Mercy pods. Man, I'll use a DMV term for y'all, man. I ain't gonna be. I like DMV stuff, so I ain't gonna say. I'll think of something.
Okay, think of something.
I gotta think something trendy. I gotta think something.
I'm not. We and we also cover the Ravens. So this, I just Karita and I had this conversation on Friday. I was like,
yeah, y'all busy.
I
haven't been like similar. I haven't really.
I was just like, whatever, whoever they draft, I'm good with it. I don't really, I'm going. Whatever.
Yeah, y'all going to Indy. Y'all go to Indy and y'all do all that stuff.
Yeah, she was on her grind last year. I was chilling. I ain't gonna lie. Transparency.
But then y'all go. But when you go last year, y'all two went together, right?
I always go. But I was like, my main thing that I was there for last year. I mean, I go all the time. I was just waiting for the Debo trade to happen. I was just around waiting for the Debo trade to happen. You want to know when it happened? You want to know when it happened? I was like, waiting all week for this, and it happened when I got on the airplane.
Oh, that sucks.
I was like,
oh, that sucks. What we got? Oh, yeah.
Guys.
We're not getting Brian Flores, man. That ain't get no Brian Flores. Brian Flores should be I ain't gonna lie to you. If Brian Flores is asked to be a DC, I'm gonna be mad. He need to be a head coach. I think that he don't need to. He needs nothing linear. He needs to be a head coach. That's where I'm at with Brian Flores. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's just me. Like that's just something in my soul.
I definitely got some ideas, but my ideas. Spoiler alert: my ideas are based on numbers.
My bad.
So I might name some. I might name some people or start talking about some people that you may not know.
Yeah. Here we go, Mike.
Which isn't half bad. Like, which isn't half. I mean, I think everybody should be open to names they don't know and start getting familiar. Like, I'm giving y'all some tea here. Like, giving y'all some insight here. Like,
maybe Clay. Maybe Paul. Maybe Clay Kubiak, man. Maybe you get a Clay Kubiak.
But it's like people. You're naming people that you know, and if you really want what you say you want, might be time to really take a look at the numbers. When I say numbers, I'm talking about like performance, like how the offense performs, how the defense performs.
For Washington.
Absolutely. For Washington. Okay. Like where they are, where they land per the numbers, rankings is what I mean. And then look at the teams that are higher. When I say higher, I mean like top 10.
Yeah, of course.
Take it a step further and say they're top 10 in these numbers where Commanders are absolutely low on offense and defense. And have they been in the top 10 for the last 3 years? And that is where I would recommend you digging into.
Okay. So y'all already heard y'all heard it here.
That is where the next set of brainiacs reside.
All right. You heard what Candi said. I don't gotta say no more. Say less.
Next set of brainiacs reside there.
I mean, Santiago said a good point.
You gotta get, it's so much of the names that we know, and I'm like, all these names, Except for, you know what I mean? Except for it is I may not necessarily want somebody that knows everybody or everybody that knows them. Might be time to look at this a little different. You always know this trick that I use too, which is just go and look at the opponents for next year. Who beat them?
Didn't everybody beat
Who knows
Washington?
how to, no, not the Commanders.
Oh,
like
sorry.
the opponents. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
division. Who gives the NFC East a lot of problems? You know, like start looking from
That's easy. That's the North. Everybody in North beat us, man.
And that's why I'm like, go digging.
Everybody in North beat us.
Go digging.
We got work by the North, man. We got work by the North.
And then from the opponent's perspective, who gives them issues? Because you typically know which divisions you're going to play.
Yeah, that was true.
So I'm giving y'all a heads up because you already know where this is headed.
Yeah.
So
all right, y'all. We about to close out.
Start working on it after Christmas. You take this week off, but start working on it after Christmas.
All right. She gave y'all homework. So y'all go ahead and take
homework.
There you go.
So we're not gonna take a quiz, or we're gonna do some homework soon as locker room clean out is. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really, really, truly appreciate it. It's live. I know it's a lot. I know it's late. Everybody been working and busy, but you all still take time at a very busy schedule to support Bowie TV, Urban Sports Scene. Wole, as always, thank you for collaborating.
Thank you. Appreciate you too.
And letting us have access to your platforms as well. This is always a lot of fun. And we're gonna go ahead and close it out. And we'll see you guys again soon.
Bye, y'all.